Welcome to Atlantean Oak Adventures. These are my adventures out in nature generally and society at large. Right now you're looking at Cummins Homestead. It's a very small shack that I thought was just a garden shed, but evidently a family, lived in that really small building. How awesome is that? Or maybe not awesome, but I think it's awesome because we look back and you're like, wow, people just did that. All right. That's like those eco homes, the little small ones. Minimalist. So the name, I wasn't making that up to be weird or anything. That's the actual name of the people that lived in that homestead. And then to our left here, the brick that is facing is Phipps Grill. We'll get a shot from farther out here in a minute. That's the peony garden. We'll take a closer look too. It's kind of an interesting area because this airport that we're going to see here, Flying Cloud Airport, was actually here at that time. It was just a small airstrip though. This is back in the day of, Model Ts and stuff like that. They would drive all the way to Minneapolis, it would be like a really long adventure. Talk more about Cummins later. He was an interesting guy. He was grew a lot of fruit trees and whatnot. And back then, that wasn't something that everybody was doing. So, now nothing is special. Back in these older times, life had so much more purpose and meaning. It's like, oh, he's the only guy that grows fruit trees around the area. You have to buy food. I almost swore, but I did not swear. So I'm gonna keep doing this video because I'm a minimalist. I don't want to waste. I apologize. I'm just making content, doing my best. It's not perfect, but I do a lot of weird stuff that other people don't do. So I think there's some value to that. Let's try to get the sun out of that. I'm gonna walk around here because the sun's not playing nice with me. We get a kind of a nice panorama, 365 degree panorama of Phipps Grill. Lots of noises in the background, hopefully nothing too distracting. I kind of think it's interesting, This is what society actually sounds like. There, that's a much better view. Let's keep walking around here. Let's just check it out. We got Elliott hangar over there. We got flight school. I would love to be a pilot. I don't think I've got what it takes. I have anxiety, bad anxiety. I don't think I could handle it. I think I would crack. I think you have to have really good nerves and perfect psychological makeup just to fly. You can't be messing up at all, Little room for error, although technology is getting better and better. So this was a restaurant, right? Interesting. Way back. I'll find out the exact date here. I think it was 1800s. Can't remember exactly. We'll get that data. So suffice it to say, it is not very modern, all right? So they were, this is like refrigeration was just like kind of maybe being developed at that point. Most of it was like here, look, there's a cellar. Clearly that was the refrigerator, the main one. There may have been some sort of thing that they were able to rig up. I don't know exactly, but I did read about that in the blurb on that sign. It's kind of cool. I wouldn't, mind living. We'll see if we can get a view in the window, if it even works with the camera. It's not too dirty on the outside. Let's just see it. Oh, that doesn't like that. Looking at I have to have the flash on. This is getting a little bit dark. I thought that was a real deal. Are you real? No. That actually fooled me. And I am a savvy nature person who's always out. Can't believe I got fooled by that. Let's take a look here. We'll stay away from the windows. J.R. Cummins' house. Oh, I must have messed that up. So I guess that maybe was a garden shed over there. Sorry to spoil it like that. Here's what I think it was, is that Cummins owned this, aha. We've just figured out the riddle. Cummins/Phipps grill house. Clearly there was more than one family involved here. And we're gonna get the time, come back. Get a little away, okay. 1879 to 1880. A fake wreath on the door, fake plants. Hey, it's better than nothing. I'm not totally against fake plants anymore. As somebody who used to own an eco-friendly landscaping business, I know that is shocking for me to say something like that. But it's like you can get this look preserved and they make better ones now. And they don't die. You don't have to do anything to them except maybe dust them if you really want to. I don't see that to be anything anyone's looking out for. I'm not going to bore you with too many signs. Let's just do one of the signs. I'm not going to take you over to the Cummins house sign. So they separated it. So there's the Cummins family, and then over here we got the Phipps family. And one of the matriarch women of the family is the one who planted all of, well, obviously these peonies are a replica of the original, but this woman had, back then, planted, but at the time would be considered a huge, I mean this is pretty big, I don't know if you would call it huge by our technological agricultural standards. Back then it was huge because, you know, they're mostly doing it by hand or with Amish style tools, horse-drawn carriages and whatnot. Right. Let's see which. So these are the these are the men and women of this family. And we get like a little. That was their asparagus truck. Cruise into the farmer's market. Little old photos of the aerial strip and the blah 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 blah. Nobody cares about that stuff that much. I just want to put it in there for, you know, valuable content. Some people like this, some people like that. I'm really trying to appeal to everyone's tastes while doing what I want at the same time. Ooh. This is like not an accurate, but sort of, I can't say the word, I can't swear, so half butt attempt. Ooh, let's see if we can get that rabbit without scaring it. I love these wild hares. Let's see this one. Oh, rabbits are very skittish of humans. I don't know if you knew a lot about animals. In my experience, certain animals are more frightened of humans than others. I would say rabbits, squirrels, deer can be, but deer are also pretty easily tamed. I do believe they are used to humans around here. Ooh, look at this. Beautiful. This isn't really a good example of what it would have actually looked like in their yard. I mean, you're going to get the general Minnesota prairie topography. And there is a wasp nest house. And for mason bees, that's very cool. I think they're actually nesting in it. Yeah, I see a lot of activity over there. I'm going to try to get close to it, but not too close. Because I've had plenty of run-ins with wildlife. I'm usually pretty good at not spooking or disturbing various animals. But wasps, for example, you know, some of them are just more territorial and aggressive than others. Wild Canadian geese, I have spoken about that in another video where I was in a park. And I was able to sit 1 foot away from 7 baby geese with their 3 adult geese parents. I don't know what the exact relationship to each baby goose is. It almost felt like it was 3 women, just the way that they were, whatever, but I could be wrong. I have no idea. See, I don't know enough about that. I probably shouldn't be throwing that out there. It may have been males. So someday I'll look that up. We can figure it out. Maybe you know. You could tell me. I don't know how close I really want to get to this thing, so let's just see. At least it's just interesting footage. I think it's pretty here. It's pretty enough. Don't you think? Yeah, I can't see squat on that. You're not going to be able to see it. Let's just suffice it to say that there's a whole bunch of wasps and bees over there, and I'm not actually sure I want to get close to them. I don't have that much faith in my beastmaster skills. I'm an amateur beastmaster. I'm an amateur everything. A jack of all trades. A multifaceted entrepreneur. So back here, the idea is, this is a good example of what I actually wanted to show you, is I believe this is a plum tree. These nice, beautiful green plums growing. I don't know exactly what variety it is. I used to grow several. There's a lot of plum varieties that are available in Minnesota. Plums grow well here. Yes, they do. So do cherries. So this whole thing would have been really full of fruit trees. And that is what Mr. Cummins was specialized in. He had nut trees and fruit trees. And indeed, see across over the fence, that goes into, this is a park called Staring Lake Park. And he would have had, you know, a lot more going on here. So obviously that is just oak trees and various native wildlife. Like, here's a good one. Look at that nice big oak tree. I love oak trees. They are sacred. They were sacred to the Druids, and they are sacred to me. Let's just keep walking around here. We'll loop back around. Try not to disturb the locals. People get really weird when you're walking around with a camera. Sorry, it's the modern age. This is what we do now. It's fun. I like sharing my adventures. It would be really boring if I, you know, not any one given person that I know in my life is not going to want to listen to me tell them about everything that I do every day, all day long. But in this format, you can just put stuff out and people can watch it or not. It's not like it's mandatory, you know? It takes some pressure off of our relationships with people. And when I say relationships, I mean every kind, friendship, etc. We are in relationship with everyone that we meet, whether we like it or not. Unfortunately, if it doesn't work out, you can always terminate it. That's black walnut. We're just going to suffice it to say that it's edible and we'll count it as part of his orchard. Mr. Cummins' orchard. Black walnut is a native of Minnesota. Black walnut is unfortunately toxic to other plants via it releases a toxin. And so it's not good to plant anything that you want to survive near it. It will steal the nutrients, and it will poison the feed, poison the stock that everything else feeds off of. Nature's interesting like that. I think it's called allotoxin or something like that. Someone look it up. Fix my mistakes for me. Just kidding. I know a lot of stuff. I don't know why I remember so many things, but I don't remember every single thing. I got some blackberries coming up here. Check it out. We'll also suffice it to say that Mr. Cummins probably, because blackberries grow whether you like them or not, he probably used them for food. and maybe even cultivate it to some extent. Personally, I find each stage of a plant to be really fascinating to watch. So, obviously the blackberries aren't there yet it's still possible to appreciate the whole process. All right, let's see if we can take a look at this wasp mason thing. Can't get more of a zoom on that, and I don't want to walk through all that brush. So you may not be able to see, but they're buzzing all over the place over there. It's great. I think that's very cool. That's something that they purposely put in the Parks Department. They keep doing stuff like that. They're really trying to reestablish the pollinators and the general sustainability of nature and wildlife. It looks like this has a couple little nuts growing up. There you are. Those will be for the squirrels. Black walnuts are very messy. Very messy. Last leg of the tour. I don't really want to go further into the rest of the park. The videos get too long otherwise. I can appreciate that. Here's one. I don't know if we got any fruit because this may be a male mulberry tree. Or two male mulberry trees. They're just starting to produce fruit, so if we don't see a female, or if we don't see fruit, then we don't see a female. We see a male. You need the male though, because the male makes the female happen. No male, no fruit. That's just the facts of life. The birds and the bees and the mulberries. Ooh. The monarch butterflies are just starting to hang out, come around too. I see one, it's not a monarch. I don't think I'm going to be able to catch it. That's what I like about these, and that's kind of what I want to share and impart. It's not just so much like I'm at the most amazing spot. I just want to share the way that I do this kind of stuff with people, because I don't know a lot of people that do it the way that I do it. I really get into it. I go deep and take my time, and I do a lot of solo adventures, so I don't have any, let's just say, no offense or anything like that, but distraction. I don't have any distraction. I don't have to compete with what we're gonna do. I just can flow, you know? I think everyone should do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't do stuff with your friends or with your family or whatever. I'm just saying, if you learn how to be really cool and comfortable with doing stuff on your own, you're gonna love it so much that you're only now in danger of not wanting to do it with other people because you don't, you know what I mean? You don't want to deal with that. So I've just gotten really comfortable with it and used to it, and it may not work for you. All I gotta say is that I'm hooked. I'm hooked for life. I love it. And now, because I guess I got a little bored with it, I want to share it. I mean, I've always been doing this kind of thing, and I'm getting better at it. But I've always, I just hit a point where I'm like, I need to just try as hard as I can to share the way that I live my life with others, because even though not all of it is perfect, I think people could get some benefit out of the weird way that I live my life. It's not status quo. It's not normal. None of it's illegal or anything. I'm totally doing everything that I'm allowed to do in life. It's just that I do it in an odd way, I suppose. An unconventional way. The way that most people do not. And that doesn't bother me, you know? I think that's where a lot of people get into this thing. They get real worried about what other people think about me, and how do I look, and that's fine. No offense, no harm intended. I'm just saying I don't care about that. And I think that if I asked someone, what would it be like if you just didn't care about that anymore? You can care about what people think, but not be worried about it. You can do your best and try to be liked, but not be worried about it if you don't get it. See what I'm saying? Just consider it. So kind of on the edge here, it's kind of fun to just see what else is around here. The corporate building, Staring Lake Corporate Center, which is offices. Special. We got Pioneer Trail Road here, and that was the original trail, by the way. I mean, I believe it was gravel, something like that, dirt. All the roads were back then. Anyways, have a wonderful day. Hope you enjoyed Atlantean Oak Adventures. Signing off, Zen Stello.